Welcome back, kids. We're going to finish chapter 11 today. 11.3 is the volume of spheres. So we're also going to talk about hemispheres later on, but today we're just going to start right now with spheres. The volume formula for a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. 4/3 pi r cubed, you can see there. So that's what we're going to use a lot today. All right, let's take a look at some problems. So a real easy one to start off here. Find the exact volume of the sphere. So exact means we're going to keep pi in our answer. So volume equals 4/3 pi. The diameter is 24, which means the radius is 12. So 4/3 pi 12 cubed. All right, so because it's exact here, we're not going to type pi in our calculator. We're just going to type in 12 to the third power. So we get 4/3 pi times 1728. And then multiply that by 4. And we get 6,912 pi over 3. And then we can see if we divide that by 3 if that gives us a whole number or not, which it does. So our final answer here is 2,304 pi cubic inches. So this one we're just kind of working backwards here. We're given the volume and we want to find the diameter. So remember that volume is this, right? And we know that the volume is 36,000 pi. I'm going to solve that for r. So the first thing I'm going to do is divide both sides by pi. And we're left with 36,000 equals 4/3 r cubed. And then we're going to multiply both sides by 3. And we get 108,000 equals 4r cubed. And then dividing both sides by 4, we get 27,000 equals r cubed. Okay, so you want to take the cube root of both sides here. So I'm going to do my best here to explain to you on your calculators how to do this. The easiest way to do this is just to raise both sides to the 1/3 power. The cube root is the same thing as the 1/3 power. So in your calculator, type in 27,000, little caret key, and make sure you put parentheses around 1/3, and you should be getting 30 is equal to r. So then for our final answer, the diameter would be twice that, so my diameter is 60 centimeters. All right, so here we have a hemisphere. So all a hemisphere is, remember, is half of a sphere. So here's our formula for a sphere again. Okay, now if we're going to divide that by 2, we basically would get this. Volume equals 4/6 pi r cubed, because 2 times 3 is 6. And we can reduce that to 2/3. So that is the formula we're going to use for hemisphere's volume. Since we know the radius here is 15, 2/3 pi times 15 cubed. Type in 15 to the third power. Multiply it by 2. And let's see what we get here. So 15 to the third power is going to be 3,375. And if you multiply that by 2, we get 6,750 pi over 3. So again, check and see, divide it by 3 and see if we get a whole number, which we do. So our final answer here would be 2,250 pi cubic meters. So number 4 says find the volume of a hemisphere whose circle has an area of this. So for this one, we need to use the area formula from chapter 10. Hopefully chapter 9, I'm sorry. Hopefully you still have those formula sheets. So area, remember, is pi r squared. So we have 25 pi equals pi r squared. Divide both sides by pi, we get 25 equals r squared. And take the square root, we get the radius is 5. Now that we have that, we go back and use our volume formula, which is 4/3 pi times radius cubed. So 5 to the 3rd power is 125. Multiply that by 4, we get 500 pi over 3. Check and see if we divide that by 3, if we get a whole number, which we do not. So do not divide the 3, because again, it says exact here. So this is our final answer, centimeters cubed. Okay, number 5, we're working backwards again. Find the radius. So again, here's our formula. Put 2304 pi in for volume. Divide both sides by pi. We get that. Multiply both sides by 3. We get 6,912 equals 4r cubed. And divide both sides by 4. We get 1,728 equals r cubed. Okay, again, remember now, good idea would be to raise both sides to the 1/3 power. It's the same thing as taking the cube root. There is another way to do it in your calculator, but it'd be harder for me to explain. So now we get r is 12. So our final answer is r equals 12 feet. All right, last one. We have a hemisphere, which I'll call V1, and we have a cylinder, which I'll call V2. So V1, remember this is from problem, I think 2 or 3 earlier today, is 2/3 pi r cubed. So V1 is 2/3 pi times 6 cubed. So typing 6 cubed into our calculator and multiplying it by 2/3, we get 144 pi. All right, now for V2, remember the formula for a cylinder, pi r squared h. So pi times 6 squared times 9. 6 squared times 9 is 324. So then our total volume is V1 plus V2, which is 468 pi. And that's it for chapter 11. Please get this worksheet done before Tuesday night, and Wednesday and Thursday will be a review.